You know, this is the time when I get excited because I am stacking the big event announcements next to each other. And you're going to flip out when I give you the announcements at the big event. Anything back there that's announcements? No, it's not. But what's over here is announcements. I'm going to tell you those numbers here in a minute. By the way, yesterday's Dream Team call was insane. If you were not on the Dream Team call, first of all, we got to get on the Dream Team call. But yesterday's Dream Team call was insane, to say the least. And at the end, question came up about GEB. What do we do to continue GEB? 7,000 tickets. I'm willing to buy 200 tickets right now. What if we collectively do this? And I said, pump the brakes. Let me explain to you why. Pat, but we want GEB to continue. Just pump the brakes. Let me explain to you what I mean by GEB. I had this conversation with a few other people. Listen, whenever there's a big event, I always was the first to buy tickets. And then I told everybody from stage, I'm the first to buy tickets and I'm the first to book rooms. I wanted to be the first to pay rent. I wanted to be the first to everything because that builds a reputation and everybody follows that reputation. So many of you, when we first announced the big event on February 1st, you went and bought 10 tickets, 20 tickets, 30 tickets, 50 tickets, because you have 6 months to fill it, right? Pat, when we did the Cyber Monday, Cyber Saturday sale for the what do you call it, tickets, Vargas is about the most 64, then it was Elvana 25, and you know the list. I've already did this, we did this call together. And then which net SVP team bought a lot, which net SVP team didn't move any that needed to, regardless of that. I'm not rehashing that. This is the point I want to make to you. I am not in the business of you buying tickets just to buy tickets so we hit GEB goal moving forward. I'm not. I'm in the business of you buying tickets because we're going to be having a lot of people rally to the next big event based on numbers. So let me give you some numbers here. You remember how I said recruits were up 47% 2017 first 6 months versus 2018 first 6 months were up 47%? Do you remember that? So if recruits are up 47%, almost every single time, our big event attendance is up a minimum of 47%, and app count is up 47%. It's just always been like that. This year, our app count isn't up 47%. It's closer to 60, 70%. This year, income revenues, it's a whole different number that we have this year. So Pat, what's the difference? I'll explain to you exactly what the difference is. The numbers I have back here is 3 numbers on what we're going to do for GEB to continue. And the reason why I'm doing it this way is for one reason. I believe in capitalism. I believe there are hierarchies that are going above and beyond everybody else and building a base shop, and they're increasing the value of the company. Those are the people we give an incentive program like GEB2. So there's going to be 3 ways that GEB continues. 2 ways is company goals. The 1 way is hierarchy goals. So let me show you what this looks like. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a challenge on exactly the direction I give to everybody on the Dream Team call on what I would be doing to increase attendance to a whole different level. And this is why you saw certain messages being sent out to you last night in the group me. But I'll tell you the strategy. Let me first give you some numbers here. Come on. There are 3 ways that GEB continues. Here's the first way. We get 7,000 registrations to the next big event. If collectively we have 7,000, guess what? GEB's here for the rest of the year, right? Number 2, write this number down. If we have 4,200 in attendance. Now, why am I saying 4,200 in attendance? Well, because last year we had roughly 2,800 people in attendance. Companies up 48, 47%, say 50%. 50% of this is 1,400. 1,400 plus 2,800 equals 4,200. It's just fair to say 4,200 is the number. So if you guys get attendance to 4,200, especially with all the bonuses that are being paid out to SVPs if they increase their attendance, GEB continues. This is going to cost us a lot of money to continue GEB, but it continues if you guys collectively get 4,200. Now somebody says, oh my gosh, this is great because I can rely on other hierarchies and it's awesome. GEB is going to continue because I don't have to really push. I can lean on other hierarchies like Vargas's, like some of the hierarchies that are going to increase their numbers. But that's not how it works, because if we don't hit this number and some of the hierarchies grew, then it goes to the next number. Let me show you what the next number is. Net SVP butts in seats from 2017, you beat it in 2018 by 60%. How much? 60%. So your net SVP team, which all of you MDs are part of a net SVP team, which means your base shop needs to also grow, which means Cindy contributes to George's net SVP team, so does Terrace, which means Layla and Sebastian contribute to Gaitan's net SVP team, which means Octavio contributes to Vargas's net SVP team, which means Ricky and Erica contribute to Alejandro's net SVP team because he is now the net SVP. And Del Toro's going to have his own net SVP. Alejandro's going to have his own net SVP. So what do these numbers look like? Let's look at this. Unity had the most people last year, net SVP in attendance, with 450 people there last year. You need to beat that by 60% in order for GEB to continue for Unity net SVP team, okay? So if you guys individually come together and say, oh my gosh, what if nobody pulls their weight? Can we at least capitalism, man? What if we go above and beyond? Well, if Unity's net SVP team does that, then GEB continues. So what is 60% growth? They got to have 720 people in attendance at the convention. Unity, write that number down, because that means every MD, David Bryan, Sears, Robert Tassio, Carla, Dan Elias, Fiong, Devante, all of those guys are under that number. Let's go to the next one. So Palos were number 2 last year in attendance with net SVP. They had 429. Your 60% puts you at 686. That is your number, MSM. Write it down. Richardson, Mason, Tommy, Love, you know, Gaudet, everybody. That is your number collectively, 686 in attendance. Next, Graziani last year had 316. They were the number 3 net SVP team in attendance. 60% of that is 505. That doesn't include Kahindi. Graziani's net SVP team needs to have 505 in attendance minimum for GEB to continue for all of EIB, because they pulled their weight in increasing the value of the company. Then it's Gaitan. They have 294. Their 60% is 470. Write that number down. That is your 60%. If TGA's net SVP doesn't include Del Toro, doesn't include Alejandro, if you increase 60%, 470, GEB continues for TGA's net SVP team, not Del Toro's. Then it's Dana Joe, 226. Her hierarchy needs to do 361. If Cornerstone has 361 butts and seats, GEB continues for them. If they don't, then GEB doesn't continue. What if everybody else hits it and they don't hit it? GEB continues for everybody except for the MDs on Cornerstone. Okay, next. So Vargas's We the People had 222, 60% of that is 355. Now everybody knows, and they're saying, I think they're gonna hit that no problem. Yes, but maybe Vargas's want to compete for #1 net SVP spot in attendance. We'll see. Cooper, 205, 60%, 328. This doesn't include Phelps, so Eatman, Hart, all you guys. You got to make sure your net SVP team hits this number so you continue GEB. Let's continue. Del Toro's 200, which means their number is 320, but it doesn't count Alejandro. Alejandro's 177, their number is 283. And so Del Toro's could hit it and Alejandro's don't hit it. GEB continues for them, but GEB doesn't continue for Alejandro. Kahindi, 106, 60%, 169. That's their number, 169. Kahindi, Elginet, Lorna, Ultima, Whistler, that is your number. Butts and seats. And Phelps, last but not least, 91, 60%, 145. GEB continues for them. So you have 3 different ways. You pick and choose which one you want to hit to make sure GEB continues for your hierarchy. So somebody might ask, Pat, why are we doing it this way? It's very simple. Capitalism doesn't punish the individual that's going above and beyond everybody else, while socialism hurts the individual who's going above and beyond and helps the person that's sitting on the sidelines not building a base shop. And PHP's philosophy is not socialism or communism. We believe in capitalism, which means everybody needs to pull their weight. And if you don't, that's okay. But the comp favors the people that are pulling their weight. And by the way, for some of you watching this, today is only July. You know what we're going to be looking at by the end of the year? Let me tell you what leaders bulletin I'd be paying very close attention to that we're not talking about a lot. Here's what it is. Which hierarchy is going to have the most equity owners this year? Oh, that one's going to be interesting. You know there's going to be a lot of smack talking at the end of the year if hierarchies don't have a lot of no equity owners, and some of them do. Can you imagine if Vargas lead the way for the most equity owners? Like, who do you think is going to have leverage talking about, I'm helping the most people get equity? What if EIB and Jason does that? What if all of a sudden EIB has the most? You don't think that's leverage? You don't think, you know, MSM talking about it? Or we're going to be talking about this. And some of the hierarchies that don't, you don't think that's going to be talked about? These are the moments that 2 people rise up. 1, the SVP and up that runs that net SVP team. And 2, a flag carrier in that net SVP team that says, guys, we got to rally behind these numbers. But both are needed in that net SVP team to make sure that becomes a reality. So what is my focus in July? This is what I would be doing. My focus wouldn't be on going and getting my guys to buy 50 additional tickets that, you know, just to buy 50 additional tickets that they're not going to use but 5 of them. No. If I want to buy 50 tickets because 50 are going to get filled, that's what I'm buying tickets for, okay? This is what I would be doing. My entire obsession on how if I'm competing with you guys and I'm in PHP, this is how I'd be competing with all of you. I would let all of you guys be distracted with these numbers. We're gonna hit those numbers. You know why? Because we would contribute most here, and most here. We're gonna increase our numbers here as well, whatever this number is here. Because our obsession of number one, solve for X, our obsession would be promoting more directors than you. That's what we would be thinking about. I mean, that's the whole game plan with PHP, isn't it? The entire game plan with PHP is we're promoting more FAs, more directors. Our obsession is base shop, while the industry is not. That's how we're beating the marketplace. Growth percentage-wise. No one's growing at our pace. I know everybody's marketplace, they're flatlining. We're not flatlining. Some of them are down. We're not down, we're up. So what's going on here? I would be obsessed with director promotion. Now, Vargas has said they're gonna promote 70 directors in their hierarchy, okay? They said they're gonna promote 30 in their base shop. In their base shop, 30. Some of you guys, I don't know what your numbers. A lot of you guys posted your numbers in the MD chat, and you said, this is how many promote. I didn't hear from a lot of people, but a lot of you guys posted. Some of you guys like to keep those numbers private. Some of you guys don't mind if you post it because you want to be held accountable. And number two, you want your other MDs to see that you're doing your part. And number three, you want these numbers to be hit. And so if you keep it a secret, other guys won't be challenged to hit it. So it'll just be here. I would be posting my numbers on what I'm doing because collectively it's increased the value of the company. And by the way, whoever promotes the most directors and has the most hard hat people on stage, it's so easy to sell that. I don't think the last time we did director promotion walks across the stage, since Sopalas have been here, we haven't done that. First time, but we're doing it because it's a rally for July to be an insane month for you. So you hit level up. 18 MDs hit level up last month. One hit double level up last month. That means 18 MDs minimum got paid at 95% last month, more than any chairman's council in the company alone because it's 82%. 18 MDs got paid at a minimum of 95% because it's 75% plus 10%. That's a 95% minimum, not including SMD, EMD, all these bonuses. What would I be doing this month? I'd be doing double level up this month if I'm you, because it's 20%. So if you double level up, and that's 15%, 20%, 35%, 110%, why wouldn't I do it? Because I'm gonna walk into a convention in August having made 40 grand in the first 2 weeks of the month. And some of these guys are going crazy saying they're gonna do 200, 400, or 150, 300. Names I've never heard saying 100, 200. This is when you do it. So this is when a Rick and Erica's base shop says we want to make a name and they go do 100, 200. But they just promoted at how do we do it? It doesn't matter. You go promote 15 directors. This is when a David and Sandra Vera say, you know what, we're going to make a name for ourselves. We're going to promote 10 directors. This is when you make a name for it. This is when a Joel Molina makes, this is when these MDs all of a sudden go, boom, they come up. This is when it happens. This is when you make a name for yourself. So for me, my obsession, we're going to hit those things because we're flag carriers. We're always going to have the culture of flag carriers as a hierarchy, always. I love what Vargas said yesterday on the Dream Team call and the MD call. We're always going to be flag carriers. But our strategy isn't panicking about these things. You shouldn't panic. Our strategy would be promoting directors. That's also what your strategy would be. Direct in your base shop. You do that, the rest is going to fall in its place. And we're not even gonna, we're gonna laugh at 4,200. Oh, Pat sent out the text. Well, Pat's a small thinker. He only said 4,200. We had 4,822. I don't mind if that happens. I want GEB to continue for you. But you gotta realize GEB benefits everybody if it continues. But you gotta want it more than I want it for you. Because I've already sold my board on it. And by the way, this is also a good way for some of you guys that want GEB in 2020, 2019. We need 10 million point base shops. A lot of base shops are behind. 5, 6 base shops are on track, but we got a lot of base shops that are behind. This is how you up your game all of a sudden in July. That's what I'd be doing. Anyways, wanted to share that with you. Have those 3 numbers down, 7,000, 4,200, and then your own percentage, whatever it may be. Let me see if I left anything here. And go let your MDs know. Go strategize behind that. Speak to your marketing directors. Send a GroupMe message to everybody so they know that as well. And then on you, going back and rallying it with everybody else you have in your organization. So we make this not only the greatest ever in the history of the industry, convention-wise, the industry starts talking about, says, what the hell is going on? Because let me tell you, we've never had this many special high-end guests that are coming to this event, never, with big mouths. I like inviting big mouth marketers from the industry with, criticism and opinions, because all they do is promote. Anyways, hey, looking forward to seeing you kill it on the Leaders Bulletin. Joker says hi.